Good morning, Super Metroid fans. Here we go. We're off to a blazing start here. This is qualifier number 2 for the SGLIVE 2024 Super Metroid Any Percent Tournament. My name is the Hockey Towner, and I'm joined by Sloters27. What's up, Sloters?
Hey, Hockey, how's it going? We have a super exciting race today. As you can see, they're already off to the races, heading off Series Station here. But our featured runners from qualifier number 2 today are Oopla, Susrame, Tillymorph, and Scotty Crow.
Awesome stuff. Very, very, very good runners. We have their PBs available to us as they make their way off at Series Station. Scotty coming in with a 42.25, Susrame with a blazing fast 42.22, Oopla with a 45.39, and Tilly with a 46.37. So we should have some amazing Super Metroid action this morning.
That's right, and worth noting, all their PBs are done with the PRKD boss order, with the exception of Tillymorph, who does PKRD. That's not to say that maybe some of the runners may elect to do Kraid before Ridley, as that's kind of a common race safety you can take, but otherwise we'll kind of expect some pretty convergent routing from most of the runners up here.
For sure, Sloters, for sure. So, all right, we already see here converging strategies with that moonfall going down the reverse climb into Old Mother Brain. And for those of you that are new to Super Metroid Any Percent speedrunning, it's the beginning of this category is pretty boilerplate with a lot of other vanilla categories. The runners have to go down here to Retro Brinstar, grab the Morph Ball in the first missile pack, and that's what kind of gets the rest of the game started.
Yeah, so far there's not a ton of action, just kind of falling through a lot of these rooms and picking up these first couple upgrades. But we'll see as they go back up the elevator, it's going to get a lot spicier with the planet now being awake, and some enemies are going to start getting in our way of getting to the next areas.
No, for sure, Sloters, for sure. That pitless, making pitless through that Old Mother Brain is even harder when enemies are present, and plus they all have to be defeated to even unlock the door.
That's right.
And if that wasn't hard enough, Sloters, then they have to contend with the climb. And there's a couple strategies available to our runners. My personal favorite is the JD, the Just Defend, sometimes called the Behemoth Climb.
Yep, we'll see what our runners like to do. Scotty, the first one, entering the climb. Looks like he's going to just be doing wall jumps up the right side. Susrame also following in suit. Oh, Susrame is switching to the ledge grabbing, so the JD climb, as you said.
Well, look pretty sharp from all four runners as they head to Bomb Terizo. Now, Sloters, you know I get fired up about Bomb Terizo, and there's only one reason why.
And that's because of the decapitation animation.
Absolutely right. So our runners are going to want to keep their shots in multiples of 5 and kind of fan out, spread out those missile drops to replenish their missiles. And that way they can kind of make a little short hop and grab some more. And that way they will avoid that decapitation animation. Oh, so Susrame had to grab all of them. But you see Scotty finishing off BT very nicely. Susrame had a nice recovery there. Let's see how Tilly and Oopla do here. Mid-air kill from Oopla simultaneously. Tilly finishing off BT, so very, very nicely done.
All right, all the runners heading out of Bomb Terizo. Looks like all of them have good energy and ammo. We're going to kind of start getting in some areas where ammo is critical, and managing resources is also critical. Reason being, they're going to be going in a wreck ship. They're going to need to save as much energy as possible. So you'll see them doing some energy conservation strats like missiling these pirates in order to not take huge amounts of damage.
For sure. And all runners entering the Mushroom Kingdom, or at least the pirate shaft here, with full energy. That's going to be vital when they get down to Green Brinstar and they want to do this early Supers Mock Ball. They're going to need to manipulate the drop RNG of these enemies so that they're guaranteed to get enough missiles to open the pink door. I do see System having to go back to get another pack, but does open the door. However, Scotty's already through. There it is, early Supers Mock Ball. Maintaining that run speed in ball form. Let's see if Oopla and Tilly can follow suit. Oopla's first through the door of those two. There we go. Absolutely brilliant movement slowers from all four of these runners.
Yep, so far so good. They're keeping it pretty tight between the four of them.
It just amazes me that even after so long that this game is being run on a very regular basis, a very, very popular speed game, that we're still finding optimizations on a room by room by room kind of discovery. You can go for this weave here in Big Pink as you go down to grab that missile pack and of course that charge beam. Next up room going to be Green Hill Zone. That's another room that can be done optimally in multiple ways, but it's just such an exciting speed game to watch, Sloters.
Yep, it's like my old chemistry teacher used to say, there's more than one way to skin a cat, and these runners will definitely show it with the variety and strats we're going to see.
So Scotty's still leading the charge here, but Sistream not far behind. And Oopla just a few ticks faster than Tillymorph here. But our right side runners are passing over the new bridge, heading into Red Brinstar. This is the major route deviation, as Sloters alluded to earlier. All runners going to be doing fan tune first by climbing the red tower. Oh, Scotty had a little bit of difficulty there, trying to get that hero shot off. So Sistream takes a tenuous lead here.
Yeah, this is kind of a room where if you mess up your initial strategy, it can be really hard to recover, because once these enemies get out of sync, trying to wall jump around them while also getting up to the top in time before that block respawns, it can be pretty challenging.
No question about it. So we do see all the runners make it into the Hellway, having passed the red tower. Going to be grabbing that Alpha PBs, the first power bomb pack, the only power bomb pack in any percent. Only one pack is necessary as they head back up to Criteria to contend with the first major obstacle of this route, Sloters.
That's right. Coming up to the moat, there's a couple of ways the runners can approach this. One, they can do a pretty much double frame perfect continuous wall jump off of the pedestal in the middle of the moat. The alternative, slower but a little bit easier strategy, is to do a diagonal or horizontal bomb jump from the pedestal to get across. Messing up either of them is going to cost a big chunk of time, falling into the water and having to get back up and retry. Looks like Susreem did not get the continuous wall jump, so will be opting for the bomb jumps. Doesn't quite get it, but he's recovering while staying on that pedestal even with his failed attempts, and does get across.
Very nice. Way to keep your composure, Susreem. Makes it into the West Ocean. Oh, Scotty's going to take a little dip here.
Oop, now check Tillymorph and Oopla's screen right now. Both of them can possibly make this wall jump. Tilly gets it. Oh. And Oopla gets it. Beautiful.
Let's go. And Scotty's across. Look at that. It could change just like that, Sloters, in any percent in this category.
Absolutely. But Susreem taking a commanding lead now, getting across moat with very little hiccups. Tilly, I think this is the second time he's fallen in West Ocean, actually. And unfortunately, that was, midway through. So he has quite a trek back to the top. But
oh, yeah. That's definitely tough, but shaking it off. Fully recovered. Full supers heading into the wreck ship, but Sistream about to face off with Fantoon Was ready for that fast pattern, but did not get it. All right, so let's see how Scotty does against Fantoon along with Oopla.
So one thing to note is this is a really dangerous fight. It's pretty common to only come in here with about 130 energy or so, which is only a few hits from this boss, and you're dead. So, you know, they all, aside from Tilly, kind of have a normal amount of health, but Tilly in particular needs to be careful when approaching this fight and shooting as many flames as possible and avoiding hits.
Yeah, I mean, the game definitely expects you to have all sorts of items at this point. Beams, suit, in the form of Varia's suit, more energy tanks. But Oopla had a terrific Doppler in that first round. Let's see if Scotty can get the kill here. Oh, just barely. Doesn't quite get it, but that Oopla is done with Fantoon. The ghost is busted.
All right, Scotty's through. Yep. Tilly should just need one more round. The health is looking okay after those health drops. And yep, Tilly's through. Awesome.
Look at that. Fantastic stuff from these runners. We did lose the stream, so we hope that we can get them back. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Now, taking a look at our runners' ammunitions count, it looks like Scotty and Oopla are coming out of the left side supers with 9, which is good. Tilly is only going to have 7. You really want to minimize as much super use as possible, and depending how the attic goes up here, they may have to expend a bit to get through the room, being one of those rooms where you need to defeat all the enemies to pass.
Yeah, attic is so tough with this loadout. You have to have just pinpoint accuracy while also conserving your resources, as you said, Sloters. Very difficult room. They picked up only their second and final super missile pack.
Now another critical room coming up here, the bowling alley. All the spikes in this room are going to do 60 damage, so even at the full 199 energy these runners have, they'll only be able to take a maximum of 3 hits. So it's critical that they get every jump off the floor and don't get caught and take extra hits. Oopla gets through with no problems. And Scotty is through. And Tilly is at full health, so we'll have those 3 hits. So now here's one of those moments in the run where the runners get a good 30-second break or so to kind of relax and reflect on the run so far and get ready to move on forward. But before leaving Wreck Ship, when Oopla running through that gravity suit, we've seen many tragedies happen in tournament races where runners running through that item and running out the ship, which is a one-way exit. But fortunately, he goes back and gets the suit, which is a very, very nice reward. And the reason why we come here early is the gravity suit kind of just unlocks the rest of the game for us. We'll be able to safely traverse through the heated areas, move freely in water, and it's just a very good item to have.
For sure, for sure. Won't be seeing the Varia suit until our runners take on Kraid. But the only reason the runners even pick up the Varia suit in the first place is so they don't have to pick up 6 whole energy tanks. Because despite the energy reduction of the gravity suit, it does not decrease the damage done by Mother Brain 2's Rainbow Beam attack. And so it's much faster to pick up Varia than it is to pick up 3 more energy tanks. Scotty really making a tremendous comeback here. Tilly's resources look pretty good, just a little bit worried about health, Sloters.
I think I see 5 super missiles on there. if I'm not mistaken, which is not a lot. They are going to have farming opportunities up ahead, but it costs time every extra farm that you have to do. So hopefully he gets some good luck with a lot of the enemies that are on path. But yeah, they're going to need a lot of ammo for opening red and green doors, for the Ridley fight itself. So yeah, the ammo drop with the RNG with this run is actually a pretty big factor and can add a lot of time that you wouldn't really think about otherwise.
So Spazer beam pickup, that's going to be part of the new route, the new route beam combination of charge, Spazer, wave, and ice. And this will be our first and only dip down into Norfair. Upper Norfair just serving to supply our runners with some key items, Sloaters.
Yep, we'll get a nice energy tank here in the high jump room, followed by high jump, which is a tremendous upgrade. Also, we'll get our ice beam and wave beam, speed booster, and those items are really going to carry us through the next sections and help us speed up quite a bit.
And this is part of that route divergence that you said, Sloaters. We have Tilly going to Kraid's warehouse to fight Kraid, so the PKRD rather than PRKD. And setting up for that Kraid quick kill right now.
Yeah, there's a couple ways that this is a nice safety. One, it's an opportunity to pick up an extra energy tank from Kraid's warehouse, which can be really helpful in Lower Norfair. It's a very dangerous endgame area. And two, having the Various suit going into Lower Norfair, if you choose to do a gravity jump to get into Lower Norfair, you'll lose a lot less health having that Various suit on in the lava. And nice quick kill from Tilly, by the way. Kind of took a second to set it up, but he does pull it off.
Very nicely done. We have a little nice ice escape there from Oopla. Scotty gonna have to take a little bit of a more roundabout path here by bombing the ceiling. So now Oopla heading towards everyone's favorite part of Upper Norfair, that is Bubble Mountain, having traversed through the Cathedral and Rising Tide first. But two key items, as Sloaters mentioned, to be collected here is going to be the Speed Booster and the Wave Beam, which will complete the beam combination.
Ooh, Oopla taking a little fall in Bubble Mountain, but gets a nice backup, freezing one of the waivers. So he gets through.
God. Yeah, Scotty unfortunately making very close to the same little slow there, and also freezing that waiver and making it into like a little stair step. Both of them into the Bat Cave more or less at the same time.
And Scotty being the first on our screen to pick up the speed booster. It's going to do what it says. It boosts our speed, but it also gives us access to Shine Sparking now, which we may see some of the runners utilize very soon here to do the Lava Spark to get into Lower Norfair, but we'll see how they decide to approach that.
All right, so unfortunately due to technical difficulties, we did have to swap out Stream. Stream did not seem stable enough for the capture. So we are now joined by Merklig. And looks like they just got Ice Beam. Yeah,
it looks like Merklig also running the same route, has a PB just under 44 minutes at 43:58. So we'll definitely fit in with this group of runners. They all have very impressive times.
So Waybeam pickup, and now another major challenge here for our runners down here in Norfair Sloaters. How on earth are they going to get to Lower Norfair?
So they have two options. One, they can do the really fast but kind of more difficult strategy, being the lava spark, using that speed booster to charge up a short charge, taking a D boost off a Namahe flame, and then sparking to the top of the lava pit. The other, much safer but slower option is doing a gravity jump, where from the bottom of the pit, the runners will jump in right before or right after the jump is executed, pause the game, take off the gravity suit, keeping the acceleration that they had from that jump, but being able to move very quickly without having that gravity suit on. And as we can see, Scotty pulling off that gravity jump, safely getting into Lower Norfair, and looks like Oopla did the same thing. I wasn't actually watching, but I think that's what happened.
Yeah, so it was interesting because Oopla I looked like he got the short charge through the door, but I don't think was set up properly maybe to get the D boost, so just elected to let that Shine Spark expire and just do the gravity jump. Now Scotty setting up for fast pillars. Now you said they're safely into Lower Norfair Sloaters. I don't think there's anything safe about Lower Norfair.
No, as we said, this is an end game area, so the game expects you to have most of the major upgrades at this point. So we're kind of missing some key things like the plasma beam, space jump. Screw attack is down here, but it's very slow to get it, so we're not going to bother with it. All the enemies down here do 50 energy apiece, even with the fully decked out gravity suit. So it's going to be really important that these runners manage to dodge them as much as possible to minimize, that damage taken on the way to Ridley.
No question about it, Sloaters. We saw a really nice D boost out of the Batcave there from Tilly, and wonderful worst rooms in the game from Oopla and Scotty. Scotty now having to wait a little bit on those key hunters here in the red key hunter shaft to get into position to avoid taking that 50 damage, as Sloaters just said. And just with 2 energy tanks, it's just everything hits so hard down here.
And nice job from Oopla hitting the Shine Spark and the Key Hunter shaft and killing 2 of the Key Hunters with the Shine Spark echoes, avoiding hitting them as well as getting some drops from them. Scotty also tried that, but unfortunately missed the spark and couldn't capitalize on that.
I'll tell you what was capitalized, though, Sloaters, was Merrick nailing that lava spark to enter Lower Norfair very nicely done.
Hey, let's go.
But now we've got simultaneous metal pirate rooms here. Scotty just a metal pirate ahead of Oopla. Tilly gonna be setting up for the Lower Norfair entrance here too. Now remember, chat, Tilly is not super far behind these runners. It's just that Tilly fought Kraid first. So these runners, every other runner you see on the screen does still have to face Kraid. But this is it, Sloaters. This is the boss. This is the Ridley fight.
That's right. And right now, Scotty and Oopla entering the fight, not choosing to use X Factors. Just going to be doing the full fight with the full beam combo plus all the ammo that they have on reserve. Typically, you'll want to use up all your missiles towards the start of the fight and keep using beam shots, and then finish the fight with your super missiles, as it can quickly get you through that last phase of Ridley where he's a lot more erratic and a bit harder to predict. So far, looks like both the runners are doing a good job, not taking too many hits, getting most of their shots in.
For sure. It looked like Scotty had exactly enough power bombs to reach Ridley's lair here. So didn't quite have the resources to do the X Factors, but doing a great job manipulating Ridley into these pogo patterns, trapping him in the corner, trying to get him to change color before unloading with those 9 supers.
Yep, and we see Scotty now unloading the supers. Once he's used all those, Ridley is probably dead or very close to being dead. And yeah, it looks like Ridley might be.
Oh, be
Still needs some
careful.
shots.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh, that tail came so close. My goodness, but look at these Ridley kill times for both of these runners. Oopla and Scotty are just nearly locked in a dead heat.
And both the runners electing to grab the Ridley tank, which is a really great safety. Optimally, you would skip this tank and later pick up the Batoon tank. But getting that extra tank right now and refilling your energy to 399, heading out of Ridley's room, that gives you a lot of wiggle room to take hits from enemies on the way out and greatly decreases the chances of dying here.
No question. I really like this play from both runners to elect to get that Ridley tank. I mean, the escape, I feel like Slaughters is just as challenging and just as lethal as getting down here and facing Ridley.
Absolutely. Like we said, without that screw attack or even without the plasma beam, getting through these enemies can be really troublesome, and they really do hit like a truck. So it's critical that they nail all these strats here if they don't have the health to take the hits.
For sure. So Merrick is fighting Ridley, but Tilly's not far behind, heading into Metal Pirates. We saw that beautiful Wasteland speedball from Scotty. These runners are really displaying the possibilities of the movement of this game in a really, really dramatic fashion. What better showcase for the movement of this game than any percent?
Okay, now pay attention to Scotty and Oopla. It won't be so scary with their energy, but this is probably the most dangerous room on the escape. Just very narrow areas to navigate through with 3 key hunters up here. If you manipulate them correctly, you can do what these runners are doing and be able to take no or just one hit, either by jumping over or rolling under them. So very well done from both of them, getting through without any trouble and coming out with a ton of energy. You love to see it.
For sure. It's hard. I didn't quite see it. It looked like Oopla had taken a tenuous lead, and Scotty just took it back here, re-entering Bubble Mountain. A really nice Ridley kill from Merrick. Tilly still chipping away at Ridley, trying to get that first color change before switching to those super missiles.
So like you mentioned earlier, Hockey, all these runners, with the exception of Tilly, have not fought Kraid yet. So they will be going to take out Kraid now. It's the most optimal time to do it. You're kind of the most decked out you're going to be. And it's also a nice super refill going into Meridia. But Tilly will, appear to gain some time back because he won't have to go into that section and can just go straight to Meridia.
No question. Love to see it. Love to see the little subtle route divergences. But we did see from Merrick just a little exiting Metal Pirates, chose to spark into the ceiling to just farm one of the pirates for just a little bit more resources. But following this Kraid fight, our good friend Eddie refers to Meridia as the place where runs go to die, Sloaters.
That's right. Very challenging section, just very technical, easy to lose a lot of time just from little mishaps. But I'm confident our runners will step up to the challenge and give us a show.
So Tilly Ridley did pick up the E-Tank, so 4 tanks leaving. Won't need the Batoon E-Tank. And picture perfect Kraid quick kill from Scotty. Let's see Oopla's attempt here. And oh, what an escape from Merrick. Very nice, leaving Lorna for. Oh, unfortunately, Oopla unable to get that stun lock on Kraid. So we'll be going all the way upstairs to finish him off.
Chat did point out it looked like Merrick did have an extra tank in Lower Norfair, which is a good sign that he actually did Kraid earlier, so he should be able to skip Kraid and go right into Meridia. So he'll probably be pretty synced up with Oopla here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite close, like you said, Sloaters. Very close indeed. Tilly just making an escape from Lower Norfair as Merrick kisses Norfair as a whole goodbye, never to return. But we do have Scotty into Meridia, already into the fish tank, heading to Mount Everest. So really picking up the pace, being able to capitalize on Upla's DLC crate fight.
So you may have noticed earlier all the runners pausing after the Ridley fight and unequipping some beams. Now with just that charge beam and wave beam equipped, we do have the ability to X Factor, and we are going to be using that on Batoon and Dragon to get in some extra damage. So Scotty, the first one to come into Batoon, looks like he's setting up that D Factor, as we call it, a special kind of X Factor. Nails all the particles and gets that one round at the last moment, gets that super in.
Oh
That's
my
great.
gosh. I haven't quite seen that strategy where you kind of flirt with hitting Batoon like that. That was really impressive. And we get a Yahtzee from
Let's
Scotty.
go.
But now this is turning into an absolute gunfight between Merrick and Upla. So, just a little bit of a false start there from Merrick trying to get that speed through those speed blocks. D Factor from Upla, looking for that one round again. Gets a good pattern, finishes him off. 4 particles from Merrick now. Full happy from Scotty until he's back up to Brinstar on the way to Meridia. Boy, what an exciting race from these runners. And another
Absolutely.
Yahtzee. And another Yahtzee.
Yahtzee. Oh my God. Are we going to go 4 for 4 on Yahtzee? Well, I don't know. Is Tilly going to skip the tank? Will he do it just for the Yahtzee? We don't know.
Come on, Tilly, do it for the content. Upla with a nice full halfy attempt here. Merrick behind just a few frames. Got the traditional halfy there. And Merrick's Shine Spark timer expired, unfortunately. But now
will Tilly complete the quadfecta and get a quarter halfy so we can see every kind.
Oh my gosh. And look at that fight from Scotty. Dragon's already down. The only boss that takes damage from Shine Sparking. Whew, Sloters. A lot of action going on here.
Oh, Scotty getting the bad frame on the spike suit, it looks like. Unfortunately, not able to convert the blue suit into a spike suit, so we'll just have to run and jump across Coliseum. But super fast fight. His resources, I think, are pretty good. It's kind of hard to see his supers on my screen, but he looks to be in really good shape heading into Torian. Probably not going to be very concerned about getting enough health or supers, unless the Metroids are very mean.
Absolutely, Sloters. We saw a perfect Batoon fight there from Tilly. And yes, electing to skip the Batoon E-Tank, I understand it. Picked up the crate tank and the Ridley tank. It's completely understandable. And now we have simultaneous Dragon fights here from Merrick and Upla. Finishing off Dragon is Upla, going for that spike suit, trying to convert that blue suit. Same thing with Merrick. Oh my goodness. This is really tight between these two runners.
I gotta point out, Merrick had a goop spark in the middle of the fight, but despite that, managed to clean it up really well. Still, like, relatively quickly finishing the fight and gonna gravity jump out of Dragon's room and carry that blue suit. So we'll see at least one of our runners spark across. And yeah, Upla's got the blue suit as well.
Just so impressive from these runners. This category is so punishing. And just, running out of energy is Upla. Merrick's all the way across.
Yeah, like that, Merrick pulls ahead on Upla just with the extra energy.
Oh my gosh. But it's got to give me the first to reach the surface of Zebes, back to Criteria, passing by the ship on the way to Torian, having defeated all 4 G4 bosses. But this is really becoming a super tight fight for second place here on the Restream race between Merrick and Upla. And Tilly finishes off Dragon. So beautiful. It's rare, Sloters, that you see 4 Vantoon first any percent runners getting this deep into the run, this is such a punishing category.
Yeah, I think years ago, the forfeit rate on like the SRL racing site was like 50%. So seeing people die in races, it's pretty common. But like you said, to see 4 of them make it through with such a dangerous route, it's super impressive.
Really amazing stuff. A nice little mock ball there from Merrick leaving Meridia, and also both of them using a power bomb to farm those bugs on the exit there. So resources looking pretty good for both of them, but Oopla taking a 2 super advantage into G4. I think Scotty has 5 supers. I can't tell if that's a 5 or an 8. It looks like a 5.
Yeah, I think it's 5. 5 is a pretty good amount to have. I would say it's not uncommon to like come in here with just like a super or 2. And you know, you can make it through with the Metroids are nice, but 5 really gives you a lot of leeway where even if the Metroids are being pretty stingy with drops, you know, he only needs a few more and he'll be good.
Yeah, those darn Metroids. Sometimes it is necessary to reload the final Metroid room. By not killing all 3 Metroids, you just kill 2, leave, and come back, and it respawns all 3. But hopefully our runners will not have to utilize that. And we're about to see the first Metroid room here from Scotty. So what kind of strategy will we use? Looks like just going to group the final at least 2, make that 3. I don't think he got any supers off of those 3, though. It's all energy. Maybe 1. What?
Yeah, it's hard to see. I don't know if that's a 6 or an 8, but he's over 5, I think, right now. Okay, he's at 7.
Yeah, just hit 7 supers entering the last room.
So now this can be a little risky. I mean, if they're stingy in this room and he kills all of them, it only gets like 1 or 2. Okay, he does get up to full. So 20 and 10. The bare minimum you need to make it through Mother Brain 1 is 15 and 10. So he has 5 extra missiles or an extra super missile plus 2 missiles. So that'll give him a good amount of leeway. And you can afford to miss a missile or 2 without sweating it that much.
So 20 and 10 with the extra 5 missile pack, definitely an effective race safety. But now Scotty's setting up for the baby skip.
Yep.
Wow.
Beautiful Stashio skip. Nice setup with the bomb spread. Making it look easy.
I think that was a 4 jump floaters, wasn't it?
It could have been.
It looked really good. Tilly's in a G4, though, gets to reflect on what has been a really impressive run. Going to carry it on home as Oopla and Merrick make it into the Metroid rooms. Merrick is in Metroid room ahead of Oopla, heading into baby skip. Scotty with Zeb skip, the classic technique there.
Wow, Oopla not getting good drops. He missiled every single Metroid in this room, and I think only got like a super or 2. So coming into the last room at 15 and 7. Oh, and those Metroids latched on. Okay, 20 and 10.
There we
Very
go.
Good.
I saw the 9. I was like, is that enough? So Scotty, yes, chat saying, "Oh my goodness, those turrets!" Look at the Stashio skip from Merrick.
Oh, nice. There was one more vine on the ground that he had to shoot out, and luckily he caught it. That was super slick.
Wow. So the turrets being very unkind to Scotty, you see, with 0 and 1 heading into Mother Brain 2. With no ammunition, this is a 60-shot fight. 18,000 HP, 60 shots. You do the math, chat. I ain't here to do it for you.
Dang, hockey. Alright, unfortunately, Oopla not getting that baby skip. So we'll have to go refill at the energy refill station.
Oh my goodness. Merrick, on the last super. Taking no ammo into the Mother Brain 2 fight. What a finish from Merrick. Catch-up phase now for Scotty. That means Only a few more shots. That's it. Scotty is through Mother Brain 2 into the Rainbow Beam cutscene. Tilly setting up for Baby Skip. Merrick facing off against Mother Brain 2, hitting those charge shots. And look at this from Tilly. The classic technique. Oh, the commentator curse. Sloters, I should have just kept my big mouth shut.
Either way, Hockey, these runners are putting on such a show for us right now. We've seen so many good strats. You love to see it. Both these qualifiers have been spectacular. Shoutouts to qualifier number 1 last night, by the way. If you missed that between Professor School and Nevdi, go watch it after this. It was an incredible start to this tournament.
I heard that one was must-see Super Metroid action. Unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to watch it back, but you know I will be at some point today. Can't miss out on the hype races, these qualifiers that we're having for the SGLIVE Any Percent Super Metroid tournament. Oh, Merrick gonna have to be careful utilizing the iframes of hitting the middle of that bomb to avoid taking damage from that catch-up, but with 44 energy, gonna have to be extra careful. Tilly through Zeb Skip as well, about to start Mother Brain 2. This has just been really spectacular from these 4 runners. And Merrick is through, so the second runner to make it through Mother Brain 2. Oopala not far behind. But Scotty's going to start the escape.
All right, Oopala in the catch-up phase. So only 14 or 15 more shots. Then he'll be moving on to Mother Brain 3 as well. And he's through. We are 3 for 4 right now. If Tilly can make it through this fight, we'll have all 4 runners survive the restream.
Saw Oopala taking those damage boosts off of Mother Brain's face. Kind of a risky strat, I feel, Sloters, but it worked well.
Right you are, Hockey. For those who have been watching the Map Rando tournament, do not worry about this escape timer. Our runners will have plenty of time to get off the planet.
Oh, man. Shoutouts to the SGLIVE 2024 Super Metroid Map Rando tournament. It's given us a lot of very exciting action. But Scotty into the parlor. Really nice tight wall jumps. Down grabs and ledge grabs through the door into the landing site. About to bring it on home, Sloters. GG's. Scotty finishing with an official race time of 44:19. And that's going to be good enough for first place in the second qualifying race. So give your GG's to Scotty.
GG. Well done, Scotty.
And just as one runner finishes Sloters, we've got another on the escape. We've got Merrick.
That's right. Just about a minute or so now from finishing. So looking maybe a 45-ish.
We'll see. It's going to be close as they head into the third room of the escape. But Oopala not far behind.
Oh, Merrick pulling a Leondox, taking a fall there, but gets up. And a nice spark up the climb.
I love that right side spark. there's the ship. All right, finishing in second place on the restream with an official race time of 46 flat. We have Merrick. That's good enough for fourth in an 18-person qualifier. GG's to Merrick League.
GG's.
But not so fast, Sloaters. We're about to do this again.
Here we go. Oopla coming into the landing site, up on the ship, facing forward, and Dot Dunning with an official racetime.gg of 46.33, coming in 5th place on the restream. GG's to Oopla.
Wonderful stuff. Sloaters, we're not finished. We've got one runner still on the escape.
You gotta be kidding me, Hockey.
I've heard of Super Metroid speed running, but this is ridiculous.
Tilly gonna bring it on home.
Are we gonna see a behemoth spark or a right side spark?
Oh no! I can't believe it.
The old pump fake into the left side.
Incredible.
Oh my
Incredible.
goodness. Oh, and finishing with an official race time. You take it, Sloaters. I can't.
Tilly finishing with an official race time of 47 minutes and 39 seconds, finishing 7th place on the restream. GG's to Tilly. GG's to all these runners. Honestly, that was such a fun watch. I'm so glad we got to watch this one together.
Oh my goodness, Sloaters, you said it. What a race between these 4 spectacular runners. Unfortunately, we did find out Sisteream did take a death, so did not finish. So we'll love to see Sisteream back in qualifying action. Because I believe, I'm not 100% sure, Sloaters, but I think it's 2 qualifying races? Question mark?
I think when I last looked at the rules, you can compete in as many as you want, but you need a minimum of 2.
Right.
So yeah, there will be 10 qualifiers total. So we have a lot more Super Metroid action coming at you over the next couple weeks. And I believe it's the top 32 that will be moving on to the bracket stage. So make sure you keep up on the schedule. You keep sticking around for these races. There's a lot more exciting things to happen.
No question. We have so much exciting Super Metroid action going on right now. It's a really exciting time in the community. And we will see if any of our 4 runners will join us for a brief post-race interview. We'll see if they got the invitation. But while we're waiting for that, be sure to check out these runners' channels. If you like what you've seen here today, make sure to give them a follow. And also follow my co-commentator, Sloater. She's an amazing Super Metroid runner. And I would say variety streamer as well. I think it's fair.
Oh no, I have that tag now.
You have that appellation for sure. All right, let's see if we can get this sorted out. As we try to get our runners in for interviews, be sure to check out the schedule to see all the Super Metroid any percent qualifying action coming your way on a Speed Gaming channel near you. All right, Sloaters, quick, buy me some time. Tell them that joke you know.
I don't know any jokes, Hockey. What are you talking about?
Just talk about my brief SM any % running career. That's a big enough joke.
Oh, Hockey, you're too hard on yourself. Listen, folks, Hockey is an accomplished Super Metroid speedrunner. Does he call in some celebrity calls during his races? Yes. But that just lets you know he's in good company, and he's got the full support of the community in his runs.
All right, bear with us, folks. We'll see if we can get those invitations sent out. But in addition to the SM any % tournament action, there is, as Sloters alluded to during the race, the Super Metroid Map Rando tournament going on. A best of 3 series, a double elimination tournament with a cash prize pool. So be sure to check out the schedule for that.
Yeah, if you're a fan of a lot of the randomizer we've done over the years, do yourself a favor and check out this Map Rando tournament. It's a completely different beast from any other kind of randomizer we've done before, and it's been so fun watching the community form around this variant of randomizer, and seeing what people have done with it. It's just a completely different way to play the game. It honestly feels like I'm playing like an updated version of Super Metroid every time I play. It's super fun. I love playing it casually. I love watching it. So check that out as well.
You know what, Sloters? We are up against it. We do have Bressingham versus Derp. Game 1 coming right here on the flagship station, Speedgaming. That's going to be at 11:10. So, unfortunately, a little bit of a miscue with the Discord invites. We apologize to you folks, but we'll be sure to get them in here next time. So, Sloters, why don't you take us on out of here?
Well, perfect. That's a great segue then. Everyone, make sure you stick around and watch some of that Map Rando. It's going to be a blast. Bressingham and Derp, some of the best rando minds I've ever seen in the game. Thank you all for joining us. GG's to all of our runners, and congratulations to Scotty for taking qualifier number 2. Hockey, it's been a pleasure as always doing commentary. And yeah.
Well, don't touch that dial. We are joined. Oh, Sloters, I'm so sorry. We are joined by Tilly and Scotty.
Hello.
Hi, welcome in GG's. Wonderful race. Glad you could make it. We do have the next Map Rando race at 11:10, but we'd love just some closing remarks. Just tell us a little bit about the race and how you felt about your run.
Race nerves are very real.
Agreed.
Wouldn't have guessed it. You kept your composure, both of you, finishing the race. Death-defying, amazing stuff. But yeah, GG, Scotty. Congrats on first in this qualifier.
Thanks.
GG's.
And Tilly, really strong showing. Just really, really impressive. Love that PKRD route. You love to see it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. There were a bunch of simple mistakes, but happy with how basically all the bosses went, which is the biggest part of the run, so it was good.
For sure. Well, thank you so much for competing. We hope to see you in more qualifying action for the SGLIVE 2024 Super Metroid Any % Tournament. I believe there are more qualifiers today, as well as tomorrow, and into next weekend. All right, Sloters, take 2.
All right, thank you everyone for joining us. GG's to Tilly and Scotty. and the rest of the crew on Restream today. Stick around for some more map rando, and we will see you next mission.